It is my pleasure at this time to introduce our keynote speaker for tonight, Mr. Salim Sfeir. Mr. Sfeir started his career in 1971 at Bank of Nova Scotia in Lebanon, before he moved to London as Regional Credit Officer in 1976. In 1980, he joined Banque de la Méditerranée as Deputy General Manager in Lebanon. In 1983, he joined Wedge Bank. He was General Manager, Vice Chairman, Managing Director, Member of the Board of Directors, Member of the Executive Committee, and CEO. Now he is the Chairman of Beirut Brokers Company, the Chairman of BankofBeirut, the Chairman of BankofBeirut Finance, the Chairman of BankofBeirut Invest, the Chairman of Cofida Holding, the Chairman of Beirut Life, the BankofBeirut Shareholder Representative at the Bank of Sydney, Australia, the Chairman and General Manager of International Century Corporation, and CEO of BankofBeirut. He is a member of the Association of Banks in Lebanon, Vice Chairman of Lebanese American University, Vice Chairman of Amidist, American Friends of the Middle East. He was a lecturer at the Lebanese University, Beirut University College, Haigazian College, and St. Joseph University. He was awarded the Medal of the Maronite Patriarchate in 2011. He has several publications, including the Economic Development in Lebanon, Lebanon, Crossroad of the Middle East, Economic Review of the Arab World, and Working Capital Financing. He speaks Arabic, English, and French. He is a dual citizen of Lebanon and Switzerland. He has an MBA from the University of Detroit in the US, a BS from the University of Montreal, Canada. He is a graduate of Institut des Frères des Écoles Chrétiennes in Lebanon. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sfeir.
Good evening, graduates, faculty, parents, families, and friends. Good evening, Your Excellencies. Thank you, George, for that kind and generous introduction. It is an honor and a privilege to congratulate you, the class of 2013. This day is about you, your accomplishments, and your intentions from this day forward. Having already proven that you can achieve much, I will be counseling you to understand and decide your intentions wisely. For knowing your chosen intentions will define who you are and who you will become. This day is about a unique and distinctive institution, perpetuating the name, memory, and legacy of a great man. 226 years ago, the future first president of the United States described his intentions in a letter to Henry Knox. My first wish is to do for the best and to act with propriety. George Washington's intentions were clear, and those intentions were fulfilled by his actions. Intention is desire in action, I now put it to you as new graduates that your biggest immediate challenge will be to make your intention wisdom in action. Wisdom in action must be fueled by passion, purpose, and generosity. But to achieve wisdom in action, you must first know yourself, a difficult task. Ben Franklin observed the difficulty of truly knowing oneself. There are three things extremely hard: steel, a diamond, and to know oneself. In a few moments, I will offer to you some discoveries from my personal journey of intention. It starts, but first, how did it come to pass that a banker from Lebanon, a distant country, plagued by crises, is here today to address you? It starts with Lebanon. You have heard. It said that everything, or that the world, is interconnected. Lebanon is the perfect example of that interconnectedness. As all of you know, Lebanon is a relatively small stretch of land on the eastern shores of the Mediterranean, with a long and profound history. And you know that Lebanon is mentioned many times in the Bible, 71 times in the Old Testament. In fact, our ancestors are accredited to have invented and exported the alphabet to the world. The population of our capital city, Beirut, at 630,000, is twice that of this city. And Beirut shares with Washington, D.C., a remarkably large influence on history within our region. The 4.25 million residents of our country are part of a strong family of some 15 million Lebanese diaspora. Many from this diaspora enjoy important positions around the globe. In fact, Dr. Jabu, here in Washington, is a proud example. Yet, Lebanon has for many years witnessed chronic political instability, being interconnected to conflicting Russian, Israeli, Iranian, and Arab agendas. But there is a remarkable contradiction between Lebanon's political meal and its phenomenal prosperity. How can a country whose GDP in 1993 was $7.5 billion arrive to a GDP of more than 41 billion today? How could there be such strong growth within such a tense and challenging environment? Quite simply, the answer lies in dealing with short-term dangers while continuously steering towards a long-term vision. Lebanon's economy has survived so many conflicts and stays afloat because the short-term dangers are always seen within the context of an ever-arching long-term vision and an unwavering commitment to that intent. My personal story is much the same. I am the founder and executive chairman of the Bank of Beirut. I am also here as a passionate advocate for transformational quality education. I am extremely proud to have been able to link my bank with many reputable academic institutions. I am honored to serve on the board of Amidis, the American NGO dedicated to international education, as well as Vice Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Lebanese American University. My lifelong bond with higher education was forged via 15 years teaching economics and finance. And in my later career, through intent and action, our bank provides valuable financial services to Lebanon's premier universities and their stakeholders. And once again, in the banking sector, we see the importance of interconnectedness, and beyond our own rigorous governance, my bank complies and exceeds global regulations. When I think back to my own graduation with an MBA from Detroit University, following undergraduate studies at Montreal University, I had already decided to become a banker. At a very young age, I began to gear all my energy and resources towards mastering self-enterprise. Following through on my intention after graduation, I spent the next 20 years preparing for the day when I would lead my own firm. This intent and relentlessly been a dream to which I dedicated my entire endeavors and energy. While in Geneva, where I lived in relative comfort for a decade, in 1991, I made a life-changing decision to return to Lebanon at the end of the civil war. Despite the difficulties and weighing the risks that challenged my decision, I was determined to return and act on my intentions. I remember the exact day. It was April 4th, 1994, that BankofBeirut's story began. We acquired what was then a very small bank with 5 branches and 100 employees. Today, 19 years down the line, BankofBeirut is present in 9 countries and 4 continents. Our local branch network multiplied more than 12-fold and is still expanding. We recently ventured to Australia with our subsidiary, Bank of Sydney, with 16 branches. We are present in Europe with BankofBeirut UK and its branch in Germany. We are also present in Cyprus, the Sultanate of Oman, and have representative offices in Dubai, Iraq, Libya, Nigeria, Ghana, and still expanding into Africa. Our subsidiaries now include BankofBeirut Invest, Beirut Brokers, Beirut Life, and B.O.B Finance. BankofBeirut's employee base has grown from 100 to over 2,000 highly trained people today. And for all you finance experts out there, $1 invested in BankofBeirut in 1994 would be $350 today. $1 invested in BankofBeirut in 1994 would be $350 today. I also remember April 4, 1994, because on that fateful day, I committed my entire life savings, as well as those of my wife, towards buying a share of what was then little more than a vision. With that payment, I invested my previous professional life as well as my future. Had I failed, I risked the very real possibility of becoming jobless and penniless. That was the most critical phase of my life. And it arrived as much by intent as it did by action. Today, as I reflect on that critical time, I find the confidence to encourage you to find and follow your passion. And now, 19 years later, I still bounce into my office with the same fervent enthusiasm I had on day one. I still dream, I still plan, and evaluate each step, and even with success, I still make every effort to avoid mistakes. This caution in my charter from the beginning. This caution was in my charter from the beginning. At a goal-setting level, I ask you to consider these actions and these principles. First, the do's. Do gather every ounce of energy during your formative years to acquire the components of leadership, the most important of which is contextual understanding, as you will be held accountable for that understanding. Do gain broad practical experience and practical knowledge for youth. Theory and dynamism alone are not sufficient. For youth, theory and dynamism alone are not sufficient. Become great at risk-reward decision-making. Always weigh the prospects of success against those of failure, and do not underestimate the risks. Look before you leap. Learn to finesse and not force your risks. And perhaps the least appreciated ingredient for success is the ability to listen well. Without good listening skills, you will not have leadership success, regardless of the career you choose. And even then, constantly re-evaluate and realign yourself to ensure that you are on the right track to fulfill your intent. Those were all do's. Here is just one don't. Greater success awaits you, and with that success comes an illusion of power. There is a lot to learn about power. I will always remember my professor's advice to me. Don't attempt to exercise power unless you possess that power. When success arrives, don't misunderstand. Don't overestimate and never misuse your power. I ask you to learn this lesson the easy way. Learning the hard way will be costly. I hope you remember tomorrow what I am saying to you this evening, because I see myself in you. I see that same energy, inquisitiveness, and aspiration for the future. I wish that you may too benefit when opportunity knocks on your door. When it does, seize it and realize your dreams and intentions. I hope that my story and the story of Lebanon will help fuel your own success stories, which are yet to be told. Plan well. Your wise intent will boost your self-confidence, allow you to capitalize on your dreams, and become a source of pride for you and all your stakeholders. This university, your loved ones, and your country. Finally, may I say that preparing my remarks tonight was a serious matter, but it was also fun for me. I am so excited for all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here and for giving me this opportunity to share these thoughts with you tonight. May God bless you and bon voyage on your journey of intent.
Thank you very much for your inspiring words. And on behalf of the MSF program, faculty, staff, management, and the students, I would like to present to you this token of appreciation to your support to our program. And also we have another award for Mr. Sfeir, which is representative of our country in the U.S. here, which is the Washington Monument.